Okay, so in this video we are going to make our character walk in place. We have our cycle of a character walking across the screen. I have actually the two cycles. I have the front view, which I'm not using for this case. I'm going to use just the side view. And I'm using just the cycle, not the repeated versions. I have other versions that I'm not using those. Those I'm ignoring right now. I'm going to use just simply this loop from the very first pose when the one foot contact and the other one is in contact, and then it goes to the full loop. So it starts with the right foot in front, goes all the way to the right foot in front, and this is actually the frame right before it lands on that position number one, so before it repeats the same position. So I'm gonna make him walk in place. In the past we've done it. We have a little glitch with it, so I try to fix that. So I'm gonna start by creating a guide. I'm gonna create a layer. I'm gonna call that guide, and that guide is um, an opportunity for us to measure his position and keep track of it. So when I get close to it, I'm gonna just go in the guide, create a couple little points there for me to keep reference. I'm gonna go a bit tighter here. All right, and there's roughly that. And this one is going to be close, not that precise because it's about to land in the next version of the drawing, but that will be enough for me. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make him as he moves forward. We're gonna bring him back so that this foot matches that. So I'm gonna go back to my first frame of my cycle sequence, and I'm going to insert a keyframe right there. Insert a keyframe, and I'm gonna go to the last frame. The last frame is repeated. The same frame to us. I'm just gonna put it on the first frame right there, and I'm going to move him back in X in a negative value so that I can get his foot to match the position. I have the number already because I've done it before. 7.4, actually 7.4 in my case is 7.4 23, I think. Right, so that's the closest number, and of course your character will be different. And now if I play it back, he's going to walk in place. Let me try to match my framing at 70 44 to 73, and then when I play back, and then he goes in place back. He walks in place roughly. There is a problem with it, and we faced this problem is that he is flickering, and the flickering happens because while the layer is moving constantly, the character is not moving constantly. The character is moving every 2 frames. I have an exception here in this frame because it's just moving 1 frame, and then that exception repeats itself. And that's because I decided to do my walk cycle just like that. That's just part of my design of my walk cycle. That's which is fine. Yours may be completely in twos, and that's totally fine. So now the problem is that because he keeps moving, the layer keeps moving, but the character is not supposed to move in the second frame. So let's just go and create a keyframe in every time we get a new drawing. So I'm going to insert a keyframe here, and then I'm going to go and insert my shortcut is F6, so I'm going to just go F6 there, F6 there. That's the same as you just go here and then you simply insert a keyframe. It's exactly the same. I'm gonna F6 there, F is there, there. So I'm creating keyframes every time I have a new drawing in place. And then that one has a keyframe already. So that doesn't also solve the problem. It just simply creates keyframe memory position. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna say because the drawing is the same drawing. So frame one and frame two, the drawing is the same. The layer should not move. So what it means is I just need to simply repeat the value from the first for the first keyframe. So my case is position next is 0. So I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to say position next actually should be that 0. And he goes back a little bit. And then a new keyframe is formed. I go to the next one. And the next one, the value should be this one repeated over. So I'm actually going to copy this, Control C. Now I go to the next frame and I'm just going to paste it right there. Enter. And then same thing, copy here. So you go so on and so forth, copying and pasting every keyframe value from the first to the next drawing. That makes our lives a lot easier because now he's not sliding while we have the same drawing. This one doesn't have a second frame, so I want to keep it like that. I'm gonna copy this one and then there, and then instructively quickly just to do them all. Just wait one more time. Copy, sorry, copy, paste. There you go. Next, copy, paste. With copy paste, of course, is Control V, Control C, Control C, Control V, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. If you're working on a Mac, that would be different. Cannot do it and talk at the same time. Let's see, copy, and done already, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Now on the single frame, same thing, copy, paste. And the first one, copy, paste, probably that wouldn't take it because there is no other keyframe. Let's see if it doesn't. So I just need to go back and then go say insert another keyframe right there. So the last one takes a keyframe as well. So if I play him back now, he doesn't jitter anymore. He's moving forward and he's constantly in place. He just goes back and forward, and that's his regular motion produced by my animation, not by the layer in motion. So with this, I'm going to just stop it there. With this, we are ready to bring in our environment. Let me just make a save a version of this file so that we have walking in place. I'm going to say corrected here. All right. And then we are going to bring in our environments. Let's go back and bring this here. I have my graphic that I created according to our notes. We said the graphic is going to be a square graphic. That way I can scale it down. In my case, starts and ends in the same way. It's stylable, so makes it easier. Those styles, those repeated patterns, you want them to be closer. The closer they are, the easier it's going to be to make it match. If they are too different, it's going to be a lot, or too big of patches, it's going to be too hard to make it tileable. So I'm going to import that object here. Let me see if I can bring that image. All right, so here it is. I'm gonna find it there, just import as a Toon Boom bitmap, it's fine. That's just good. I'm gonna say import, and then yeah, there it is. So it comes in right away, and it actually, let me see where I put it. Put it at the bottom of the pile. There he is. There it is. And it's roughly about the position. I'm going to make that layer, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to make it a child of his layer. So actually, I don't want it to be above the highlight. I want it to be below the highlights. So it's behind him. So now, because he's part of the layer, he is actually, I removed it from the layer. Let me just bring it back again. I need it to be right below the thing. Let's see if I can keep this layer to stay working. There it is. Oh, I lost my my effect. Ooh, made a mess out of my highlight and stuff. Let's see if I can make it a little bit better there. All right, I got it there, right there. And so I got my background under my highlight effect. Just make sure that you don't lose that. If you lose the connection, you simply reconnect the mat that this one is receiving from the one. So my background is a child of it, and you can see now that it moves with him. So if I play it back, um, the background stays in movement, which is great. Of course, I need the background to loop because of course the background is moving with him, and I don't want it to be um, losing the or leaving this blank space here. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab and duplicate this object, this background. I'm going to duplicate the selected layer, so that becomes another layer underneath of that, and I'm going to actually move it over to the position on X to the other side. I forget what the value is. Let me see if I can remember. I think it's 30 something. So I think it's 37 or something. Let me see if I can get that. That's too far. Um, Close. 30, 32. Let's see if it's correct. 30, 32 seems to be, let me just move the timeline. Needs to be a bit less. I have a little gap there. 31.9. Let's see if that makes it 31.9. Takes care of it. So there is no gap between those two. So now if I scroll the thing, the object moves with him. The problem with this is that he is moving correctly now, and the background moving with, but my first frame and my last frame do not match. And I need my first frame to match here, and in my last frame I need whatever is to match there again. So whatever of these posts needs to be matching that guide, and the best way I have to do that is by scaling it down. And again, this is not a precise mathematical thing or anything. It's just they're just making sure it looks okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab the second tile, the second background that I created, the one that's outside duplicated. I'm going to make it a child of the first one. That way, when the first one moves, the second one is going to move with it. When the first one changes, the second one is going to do the change. Then I'm going to modify the pivot of that one, of that first background, so that I'm going to scale it down, pivoting from this corner here, from this edge. So I'm going to just grab this pivot point, which is that right there. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to move it to the edge of the frame, making sure that it's right on the edge of the frame. So that way, now when I do animate, or better change the scale of this object, it's going to be pivoting there, and the child that is belonging to that one will do the same thing too. And now I'm going to change the scale of this background, to bring it down so that in the first frame and in the last frame I get a post matching that same